Okay, what? Oh no, it's gonna rain. Well, I think it looks like it's gonna rain. Hmm. It looks like it's gonna rain. Huh? I think it's gonna rain. It's all like cloudy and gray out there.
You're gonna check the weather?
Check, huh?
It's gonna rain. There's gonna be like a 2% or 1% chance of rain.
Oh, okay. Well then,
Yeah.
all right. But just in case, taking the umbrella anyway. Oh, hey, Hannah. My connection's probably not that great, so I apologize in advance. I don't get that great connection. So if I'm in and out, you can't hear me. Apologies. I wonder what this is. I think I remember somebody telling me the name of this plant. I can't remember. So this is obviously a fig tree, right? This I think is a lemon. I think this is a lemon tree. Or lime, not sure. They pick their fruit pretty quickly. So they got this one's pretty. So let's go on our merry way. Thanks for joining me. I hope I don't get caught in the rain. It's a little gloomy. I don't know where the sun. I guess that's the sun. It's a little dark. Gloomy clouds. You guys obviously saw me in the window. Look at this beautiful red though. Isn't that a beautiful red? All right, guys, moving on. Moving on. So I guess if I think about it, my connection is my apartment. I noticed a neat little thing take place where at a certain hour my internet will just go off and I won't be able to use my TV app, YouTube. So yeah, I don't know if you can hear me, but there's construction going on near me. The dog, so cute. Look at the dog. What's going on? Some people don't like being in the camera, and you can tell that they don't like being in the camera because they either put their head down, they look away. But if you notice how beginning that young girl standing by the brick wall, I'm not trying to say anything. Just like who said it? I'm trying to remember who said it. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Much better to keep your mouth shut. And not. I'm trying to come up with something on that end, as far as like a little mantra. Let me see what you're saying, lady. Let me take a second to take a breath. Yeah, it was one of those fluffy ones. I forget. There's a style of flower that's called where it's so layered like that. So I live beneath, or at the bottom, I should say, at like one, two, three, four hills. So either way I travel, I'm walking uphill from my house. But Hannah, thanks for hanging out with me. Again, this message has not been brought to you by Pfizer, but my connection's probably not that great, and I probably shouldn't say the word COVID or Pfizer or ivermectin, because I'm sure those are like buzzwords for the censorship on apps. Because I think mine is connected to I think I also have mine connected to my YouTube channel. So this is going out on YouTube as well. Oh, I don't know if I've ever told anybody, but I have a YouTube channel. And somebody was reminding me that, yeah, when I first started out on Periscope, I started out as just observing a lot of painters because I started up painting. And my daughter really, and my sons, and my kids really encouraged me to do it. And so I started streaming on Periscope. But long story short, for some reason, Periscope at one point wouldn't let me log into my account at all. And I lost all my painting streams, which was a lot of work when you're trying to set up to paint. It's not an easy task. It takes a lot of energy to set up your camera and to set up your, it's not, and it's not like I bought anything or tried to spend any money on things that I needed to do it. I just did it because it was fun and I thought I'd share and then meet other people who also were painting. And I did. And that's how I met like Nani and I think Oh Hey is Casey, which I don't see Nani or Casey on here at all. I don't know. I think they went to Twitter or Twitch or yeah, I think I see her more on Instagram. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. So yeah, I couldn't get my old account. I couldn't find any of my painting scopes, which was real frustrating. When I finally had a chance to talk to somebody on Periscope about how Periscope basically turned into some trashy place for pornographic content, I was cussed at by one of the people in the stream. That was one of the representatives of Periscope. She cussed me out. She basically said F you to me because I was asking about how horrible Periscope was in regards to screening people that were doing scopes that were, close to almost like human trafficking, I would say. And so then afterwards, I created another account, and then that it happened again. I couldn't get back in. I had more painting scopes, lost again. So I, on Periscope, was on my third account. I was on my third account in Periscope. And then towards the end, I just kind of like lost all interest because I was just, it was a lot of work that I had put in, and there was no way for me to say, oh, hey, go check out my painting scopes. This is my work. I wasn't given that privilege or honor or opportunity. They just stole my stuff from me. So yeah, dirty people do dirty deeds, but dirty people don't realize that the dirt is seen by those who don't have dirt. You can see the dirt on them. That's what they forget. So anyways, moving on. So then when HAPS came around, I thought, okay, well, I want to do more talk radio kind of podcast. Just have conversations similar to how Michael does, but not like Michael. And then I kind of just lost interest because it was such a frustrating way to, like, this app is it's not easy to use, and I can't use it on my laptop because for some reason I don't have a camera that faces away from, I don't know, the camera, it only faces towards me and not towards what's behind it. Or maybe I'm just not figuring out how to do it correctly. I'm not computer savvy, and I don't really have a lot of what is it, motivation at this point. You know, they kind of, all the frustrations kind of squeeze all the motivation steam out of you. You know, you're trying to get going, and then they steal your stuff, and you're like, ew, this is, I'm dealing with dirty people here. Then you lose respect, and you just start being all trashy like they are. Who cares? Who cares what kind of content this app gets at this point? But then, you know, I see that they're trying to, I guess, amends by um, giving a shout out to musicians who work really hard to put on their shows on this app. Uh, but I don't understand. You know, just the focus just on musicians seems kind of a narrow view. Because I personally, I enjoy tourism and seeing people in their native little country or their native neighborhood or wherever they live. That's an interesting scope to me because I get to see them interacting through in their neighborhood, going to the shops, going to the restaurants, saying hi to their neighbors, you know, day to day normal stuff. I find it interesting to see someone go to the market and shop for some groceries, and you get to see like what kind of items they're buying and how different it is based on what country they're in or the prices they pay. I was following a couple, but I don't know how I lost track, but I was following a couple on YouTube. Here, I'll stop to see if you said anything. I'm sorry, I'm not interacting. Periscope. Yeah, I know. See? So it seems like it's a thing. Oh, yeah, that's so cool, Hannah. Thanks for telling me that because I never thought that anybody was really watching. And I would get so frustrated. I'd be like, what's the use? What's the use? Why am I even wasting my time with this? But I really did enjoy it. I liked the actually doing the painting more than, I'm not really what's the word? I'm not a social butterfly, I guess is what they say. Or I'm not an extrovert. I'm more of an introvert. So I enjoy company with people who don't have to just do all the just just constantly just talking about stuff. Or I don't know. I guess I'm not saying this correctly. I don't really dig chit chat. Like chit chat is boring to me, but I do it because that's how you interact with other people. You chit chat. Um, so I'm real bad at that. I'm horrible at it. That's one of my worst characteristics is having the ability to just sit and chit chat with people. So my failure was when I was painting, I wouldn't really pay attention to who was commenting, and so I'm sure that's probably why one of the reasons why people wouldn't hang out too long. But again, if I'm painting, I really need to be focusing on the painting and not on the conversation. Maybe take breaks in between. I'm not Bobby Bicker. I'm not, I'm not the better painters on here who can just amaze you with the way they just create art. I would agree that somebody saying that they need to give, if it's going to be the arts, then let it be all the arts, not just music. There's more to art than just music. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. All right. Okay, if you say so. Okay. Let's see what you're saying, Hannah. Oh wow, I can't see it because it's like really on Periscope. I had some streams of my kids and painting. It was fun. Most of my streams were nature walks. That sounds amazing. Like I would love to see all your streams. I mean, I actually don't recall you on Periscope. I'm sorry. I probably was. Uh, I used to follow Chantel, the lady in Paris, and of course Louise, and of course, what's his name? He's in Paris as well. He's got a weird name. His name is like a number 9630 or something like that. Of course, Fabricio. I used to follow Sandra. She was over there in New York. I used to follow somebody in New York. He used to be in Manhattan, an older gentleman, and he would go to his walks out in Manhattan, and he was wonderful. And he would have conversation, and he was a tough little googer too. He wouldn't put up with anybody's nonsense business like trolls and all that. He was a very tough New Yorker. I used to follow him. John Lanham, which was an excellent artist, like amazing artist. That's where I met Nani and Case and Warren from New Zealand. What's her name? So many people that would just be doing basic day-to-day interaction. And you got to know people, you got to know them, you get to know their likes, their dislikes, cry with them, pray with them. And there's lots of people I've prayed with on Periscope and on Hacks. Buenos días. Hola. Yeah, so this is Hollywood. Oh, well, it's not really Hollywood. It's more like this is called Silver Lake because there's a lake nearby. And so that encampment across the street, that's new. Oh, is that what his name is? Andrew? See, I never knew his name, but he does these cute little where he goes into the telephone. Is he the one that goes into the telephone booth? I think I remember him. He does like these conversations inside those London style telephone booths. But then again, wait, he's in Paris, so maybe I'm getting him confused. Try to give you something to look at other than dirty old trash and trashy trash on the ground. Yeah, this is kind of a weird little walkway here. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see, but it's basically like a dirt wall. See how across the street like it's cemented? But look at that one, it fell because we had a lot of rain recently. So this is kind of scary right here when you're walking because you don't know if this dirt's just gonna suddenly fall. As you can see, that house lost their fence up there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a big old pile of dirt. And I know that was caused because of the recent rains that we just had. We had like a, a lot of we had rain for like, which is very unusual. We had rain for probably a week or longer. I would say about 5, 6, 7 days continuous rain. Well, not continuous, but it was like on and off. And I'm not complaining about the rain because we need rain. But yeah, so I forget what I was talking about before I got distracted by the weather. So basically, guys, I'm just on my way to the market. I'm also going to do a couple other errands. But thanks, Hannah, for hanging out with me. Pretty cool. Sorry there isn't lovely rivers and lakes and mountains to look at. I don't have any of those things here in the city. We have buses and trash. Buses and trash and graffiti. So yeah, so this is Silver Lake and it borders Hollywood. But to the north, or I guess to the north of here would be Burbank. Anybody familiar with Burbank? Most people know Burbank. If you say Burbank, or well, maybe not most, but most people, if you say Hollywood, they're gonna know where you're talking about. Hollywood. Another word for Holly weird. Holly weirdos. The city of Holly weirdos. Who was saying it earlier? Michael? No. Somebody was saying something about being weird. I think it was you, Hannah. Oh, wait a minute, I can't remember. Something we were talking about being weird. Oh yeah, so earlier I was in a lady's scope, and I don't recall her name, but she was in a prayer scope with me, and it's a gentleman out of, I don't remember where he's from. I think he's from Texas. He does a daily prayer scope, not daily, but periodically. I'm not really sure. So I met her in there, and then she scoped herself in Tennessee. She was showing they were white Christmas in Tennessee. It was white, everything was white, snow cover everywhere, all over our neighborhood. It looked so beautiful. But anyways, I was in her scope, and she was scoping to say that for some reason, and I don't know if anyone's heard of this oddity, she said that every time she tries to log into the app, that the app makes her always put in her phone number. Like the way she made it sound was the way, to me, of what the app asks for when you first upload it into your phone. It asks for your phone number so you can sign in and gives you a code, blah, blah, blah. But she was saying that every time she goes in, she has to do that. So I think maybe that's what maybe she's going directly, maybe she's not going directly from the app and she's just logging in from her internet versus just having the direct app and just opening it up, which sometimes I do. So, but I don't know if anyone's heard about that. I tried to explain it to her, but I don't know if she understood. But apparently she was having that issue, and that was one of the reasons. Other than her beautiful snow that she was sharing from Tennessee, it was just blanketed all over. snow, and she's just a very sweet lady, and she said that she follows me and that she watches my streams. Okay, I'm coming around. So yeah, guys. So now we're finally hitting like a big intersection. Let me see, Hannah. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, there's snow where you are. Now, Hannah, I'm trying to recall. I believe you're in England, yes? I might be mistaken. I apologize. I do think I believe that you're in England. When I think of you, I think of you in England. When I think of Anne Rush, I think of her. She's in Denmark because she's super close to JB. And then I think of, I didn't know for a long time. I don't know. I don't think you follow Michael. And who else? Ed Linman. I don't know if you follow Ed Linman. He's also here in California. And then who else? Let's see. Who else? Who else? Like when the app first started, like honestly, to tell you the truth, what I did was I just kind of followed everybody. I was just following people as the app progressed. And then I thought, well, as it progresses and I become like more of a viewer, not a user, I just started to unfollow. And then at some point I had to just straight block people. So a lot of times when I'm in somebody's stream, I can't see people's commentary because I've blocked them. Why do you have to roll, lady? That causes accidents when you roll. People just are so impatient. You're sitting your big patootie in a comfy chair in a car with wheels, and you can't just wait until someone walks by. You're that impatient and rude, because I really think it's rude when drivers are not respectful of pedestrians, because we're walking, we're on our feet. We're not in a comfy, warm car like you are. So please have some humanity and try desperately to just be a little bit more, I don't know, what's the word, caring. Think of someone else before yourself, maybe, sometimes, if you can. This area looks horrible, the way it's all trashy. I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, like, they pick and choose what areas get cleaned up with the trash. Oi! Who gets what areas get cleaned up versus what areas don't get cleaned up. And this area right here is always filthy. But I think about it like if my apartment building where I live, like there's a lot of trash, but it's normally not like in front of the building, you know, like the way it is right here, where it's like all thrown inside the shrubbery and out on the sidewalk. Like the people who run the front businesses below my apartment, because there's businesses that are behind my in front of my apartment. They have trash cans because it's like a bagel shop. And I don't know if you noticed where I was looking at the plants. That's like some kind of like artist studio, like an art studio. So I think this is for testing. You wish you were in Virginia. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So do you know a lady she's in Virginia, and she's a big proponent of COVID news, and she's a big cheerleader for an organization that was started by a bunch of doctors and scientists in regards to how could I say this? Preparing yourself and protecting yourself and building your immunity. And and the name of the organization is called the FLCCC. Anyway, she's out in Virginia and she has a YouTube channel. Her name is Mary Grace. And she's also a business owner. She runs a business of, um, she calls it superfoods, which I believe that it's just like vitamins. I'm not really sure what her products are. I never really went into her website to look at her products. But she's out in Virginia and her name's Mary Grace. And during the time of, not to get too political, but she's very political. Like she's constantly talking about politics, but then she throws in the COVID stuff with the FLCCC and recommending how to protect and build your immunity, which again, we're not going to hear that from the CDC or the WHO or Fauci or anyone, Biden. No one's going to say to us on an infomercial commercial, hey, you guys, if you take zinc and you build your vitamin D and build your immunity, you can battle and fight and never get COVID. And even if you were to get it, you could actually avoid having to even be admitted into the hospital at all, just have mild symptoms. And another thing that the FLCCC does is they also inform and advise people in regards to the stats and numbers. I don't know if you saw on the news, there's a big old deal going on right now. They're attacking Joe Rogan because he had this doctor, Malone, who was banned from Twitter because of the information that he's giving out in regards to Omicron. And he was basically telling people, that this is a bunch of scare tactics that the CDC is doing. And they blotted him out. They removed him from Twitter because he was saying things that the CDC didn't want him to be saying to people in reference to Omicron and COVID. So that just screams out how dirty this is. That it just comes down to them wanting to sell vaccines. It's all about the money. If you follow the money, nobody ever talks about the fact that Fauci owns stocks in Pfizer. Nobody ever talks about the fact that CNN, MSNBC, NBC, and all those corporate media giants are covered and paid for by Pfizer. Does no one see the irony and the hypocrisy there? So I think some people just want to be blind on purpose because they're okay with these what is it called? What does Jimmy say? I don't remember how to say that word, but basically these horrible mandates taking away the freedoms, but I follow somebody who says, we don't have any freedoms. They're letting us know that we don't have freedoms and that they can take our freedom of movement, which I believe right now Biden and the administration has broken the Nuremberg laws by limiting people's movement, because right at this time and place right now, we can't move at our own behest. We have no rights to travel. They've hindered our travel, and I believe that that's a violation of the Nuremberg. So we're under dictatorships. We're ruled by corporations, even though I truly believe we're not. We're ruled by God. God rules all. But we're not going to get religious. So anyways, Hannah, I'm going to focus on what I'm doing here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Godspeed. God bless. Try to show you the sun real quick. just peeking out. Yeah, Bill Gates as well. So thanks for hanging out, guys. You know what? Believing in a vaccination, then that's the thing. It's the same as atheists and Christians. We deserve the right to have free speech, and we deserve to have the right to say if we want to take a medical procedure, because that's what the vaccine is. It's a medical procedure, and they want to force us to take a medical procedure. I'm here nor there with whom one chooses. One has the freedom to choose. That's the bottom line for me. If an atheist wants to say there is no God, he has that right. The same way I have the right to say there is a God. If someone who wants to take the vaccine wants to take the vaccine, they have the right to take the vaccine. But if someone doesn't want to take the vaccine, they have the right also. There is no horger. There's no, you can't point the finger and say, do as I say, not as I do. You can't sit on both sides of the fence or talk both sides of your mouth. Then you're a hypocrite and a liar. But I'm getting on my soapbox, guys. So have a wonderful day. Thank you for hanging out with me, and God bless. Godspeed.